Greetings. Some wonky light. Anyways, quick chat on Trump's contradictory economic policies. So he is saying that he wants to reindustrialize the United States, bringing manufacturing jobs back here, reindustrializing in sectors that have maybe slowly lost, huge amounts of market share, and bringing those jobs back, taking those jobs from other countries. He was talking about that on the campaign trail. So you have that, and in order to do that, you would need to devalue the dollar, right, in order to increase exports and production, because how are you going to be reindustrializing and bringing more jobs back if the dollar is still the world's global reserve currency? You would have to de-dollarize, you would have to devalue the dollar in order to make it more practical economically to reindustrialize here, which devaluing the dollar would be helpful for workers here. It'd be better for the working class. It'd be better for people abroad. But then on the other hand, Trump is also saying, we're going to punish countries that de-dollarize, that stop using the dollar as their global reserve currency for different economic trades. And that's de-dollarization is slowly happening, right? The U.S. is losing, but they still are. The U.S. currently is still the U.S. dollar is still currently the world's reserve currency. So you can't have your cake and eat it too, as Ben Norton said when he was discussing this. Trump wants to reindustrialize, which would mean devaluing the dollar, but then he also wants the U.S. dollar to remain the world's global reserve currency. That literally both of those things can't be true at the time. And I think Norton's analysis was right, that if Trump was going to pick one, he would go on the side of keeping the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency because of the power that comes with it. So, for example, since the U.S. is currently the global reserve currency, they are able to level unilateral sanctions against countries and have huge impacts by doing that, because of so much global commerce and trade is done in the U.S. dollar. If you're able to sanction countries, they're not able to access different markets and things that they need to have a sustainable way of life for their people in that country. For example, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Bolivia, all these, Russia's had to de-dollarize because of U.S. are working on de-dollarizing because of U.S. sanctions, Iran, etc., right? So Trump more than likely is going to go that route instead of trying to reindustrialize, which again require devaluing the dollar. It could no longer be the world's reserve currency if we're wanting to reindustrialize here, which again, that would benefit the working class more. And Trump doesn't support the working class. He is not part of the working class. He is part of the capitalist class, and he's going to serve that interest. And it's really good for the capitalist class and Wall Street that the U.S. dollar remains the world's reserve currency. So I think Trump's definitely going to go that route, but he's speaking out of both sides of his mouth at the same time. He's trying to have his cake and eat it too. But again, He's a politician who will do and say anything that he thinks will get him votes or get him support, but that's why we actually need a material analysis of what's actually going on. As Lenin said, a concrete analysis of the concrete conditions. It's one of the things that I really appreciate about Ben Norton is his very detailed, logical, rational analysis using the facts and the evidence to base that analysis on. He's just not basing it off of bullshit like Trump does, like so many in the pundit class, so many in the media class do, right? So I'll leave that discussion down below. But again, Trump's economic policy is not going to help out the working class at all. It's just going to further enrich the capitalist class because those are the interests that Trump represents and supports. If he didn't support those interests, he wouldn't have that institutional backing of the elite, of the billionaires, like Elon Musk, like the CEO of BlackRock, etc., etc. They're not supporting Trump because they think he's some cool guy and they want to hang out with. They're like, no, you get in office, you're going to enact all of these policies that are going to benefit us and our billionaire friends, right? Not because he's out there some champion of the working class. He uses this faux populist rhetoric, but it's faux populist rhetoric. You got to actually look at what the policies are, right? Materially examine it. Don't take him at face value. He's a salesperson. He's a showman. Anyways, you got to be able to see past the smoke and mirrors. Otherwise, you end up supporting your own oppression. Peace. Much love.